Once you've recognized that you alone can change your behavior and not the behavior of others, you will become a change candidate to an intimate relationship with God. You will begin to correct your own behavior. You will also engage your spouse in your conscious effort to correct past acts or mistakes, and you will find ways to create an atmosphere of change in your relationship. Welcome to my podcast. My name is Omobola Stephen. I'm a life and relationship blogger and podcaster. So today I want to talk about creating an atmosphere for change in your relationship. Stay with me. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Number 1 is setting up positive exchanges. Remember, change occurs more often in the presence of positive exchanges. When you praise the child for doing things you like and want to build, you are increasing the likelihood that the child will make those changes. Adults are no different. If you praise even small movements in the right direction, you will get a change. Praise is powerful. It prepares the atmosphere for change in your relationship. Now, you go ahead. If you really want a change in your relationship, start praising the things you like. Don't tell me there isn't anything you like. There are so many things you like in your relationship and in your partner. You just aren't seeing the small and mundane things your partner does to make life easier. You need to build on those. Then when you see a new behavior, reinforce it big time. Number 2, work on yourself. You need to spend less time blaming, criticizing, and more time working on conforming your own life to the image of your maker. This is essential to build a healthy marriage and relationship. You have to identify your own flaws and misfits and correct them where necessary. Otherwise, you have no credibility telling your partner what to do. Often, partners say, "He wants me to change, but he's so messed up himself." Or, she points out my faults, I beg your pardon, but won't talk about hers. Again, this unwillingness to see yourself as a work in progress in your relationship oftentimes creates resentment and resistance to change, and this is not healthy at all. You need to take responsibility for yourself first, then watch your partner follow suit. Number 3, resolve conflicts. One predictor of divorce is the inability to resolve conflicts. Do not let things build up. It is unhealthy physically, spiritually, and relationally. Agree with your partner to have regular checkups when it comes to disagreements and conflicts. You can go ahead and ask, "How are we doing? Anything bothering you that we haven't talked about lately?" Do this every day or at least once a week until you raise issues with regularity. You need to know that conflict is part of every relationship, but your ability to resolve it makes the difference and furthers change that you really wanted in your relationship. Number 4, become more emphatic. Willingness to change is encouraged when a person feels heard and understood. Spouses are famous for stubbornly resisting change when they feel misunderstood. Now that's true. Your effort to intellectually identify and vicariously experience your spouse's thoughts, feelings, and attitude is called empathy. How much empathy do you show? Now that's a question from me to you. When you put yourself in someone else's shoes and try to understand what they are going through, they are more willing to share it from their hearts. Practice listening and then repeat what your partner has said. Ask if you got it right and if you accurately reported what the person was feeling or experiencing. I know that it won't be easy in any way because you're learning a new skill. But really, it is worth the time. You know what? Empathy empowers change, so you need to start right now. Number 5, lessen your dependence on the other person. No one can meet all your needs all the time. Only God can do that. And since you didn't physically live with God yet, you're still dependent on others. Now, it is healthy to have friends to talk with, to share activities with and support. It is also great when you can depend on friends, but balance is the key. When friends replace couple intimacy needs, it is not healthy. When others are your only source of support, the same is true. Balance your intimacy needs between your partners and friends. In the same way that you don't expect one of your friends to meet all your friendship needs, don't go expecting your husband or wife to meet all the other needs. Sexual, spiritual, deepest, intimate needs, save those for God and your spouse. Now that's important. Friends can support and add to your intimate covenant relationships, but they should not replace them in any way. Number 5, take care of yourself. Self-care is very vital. Again, when doing this, consider balance. Attending to your own physical, spiritual, and emotional health creates an atmosphere for change. When you value you, others will too. When you take care of yourself, the burden of worry is lifted from the other person. Remember, we're talking about creating an atmosphere for change in your relationship. Many men or many women, don't know how to say no or take time for themselves, and this is not good for a healthy general well-being. You really need to have a me-time for yourself as a woman. The same is also applicable to a man. You need to have time for yourself spiritually or physically. You don't go telling me that you're too busy with your job or with your career. Having a personal me-time is essential to your good life and a healthy lifespan. There's a difference between self-indulgence and self-care. Self-care is simply saying, I need to be responsible for replenishing myself. I will see that it happens. When you do this, you're more centered and better equipped to deal with change in your life. I will be right back. Welcome back. Let's move on to healthy marriage strategies. Number 1, stop trying to change your partner. No. Refocus your efforts on changing your part of the dance instead. Number 2, examine the unconscious expectations you have for your spouse. Do you expect him or her to make up for all the hurts or the pains in your past? No. He shouldn't. Or she shouldn't. Next, become intimate with God and know Him as the one who is dependable, the one who can unburden every burden of your life. Next, reinforce your own change efforts. Be part of the healing, not hurting process regarding your past wounds or hurts. Next up, create an atmosphere for change in the sense that you pray often, resolve conflicts, and become more emphatic where necessary. Next, do not depend solely on your spouse for all your needs. Now, that's important. Lastly but not the least, take care of yourself physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Thank you for hanging with me on this podcast. You can visit my blog site on youmattertolife.com. I share helpful and useful tips about life, relationship, and marriages. You are going to have a really worthwhile learning on the go. Thank you once again. See you some other time.